think there is a very good parallel between the art movement and contemporary travel. I think both of them, first of all, lived a kind of fracture in the history. If you look at the art movement, the fracture happened in the 1850s, where basically people were purists in many ways, in the way they were doing, following the arts, decided that, or realized that basically photography was becoming the ultimate challenges because it was able to provide perfections. Because of that, they decided that they needed to pursue art in a completely different way to give value to what they were doing. So the contemporary artists were a bunch of rebels who decided that they will give themselves the mandate to stop imitating life. What they were trying to do is to pursue an art form that was in the quest for emotion. To break through the clutter, to do something totally creative, totally new, and totally different. And we believe that exactly the same thing is happening to the travel industry. What is happening is that a bunch of rebels in the late 70s and beginning of 80s realized that perfection was everywhere, that it was easy to create ceremonials and golden taps and so on. And they realized that what the customer really wanted was something very different. They wanted to have a kind of an experience, and to create an experience, it was very important that you had the right people to do it. That if you wanted to create a theatrical experience, you needed to have the right cast. And I think this bunch of rebels fuel what is called today the contemporary travel movement, or the phenomenon of design hotels. Most people have a perception of the luxury customers like it was 100 years ago, when he was white, Anglo-Saxons, Protestants, conservative, and inherited most of his money. Today, the customer that we have is somebody who is probably either a first-generation millionaire, first-generation wealthy. He didn't inherit his money. He worked pretty hard for it. And he has been obviously progressing in his career, taking risk. Because of that, he's a risk taker. He's also in his consumption habits. And he's got a real taste for singularity and for individuality. As a result, over the 20 years, we have seen a new generation of customers who have become extremely creative, very individualistic, who are looking a quest to become themselves. They can be very confident in their fashion taste. They can be very confident in their sexuality. They can be very confident in their race. They can be very confident in their religions. And they can also be very confident in their taste. Because of that, he is creating a plethora of demands and opportunity for the travel industry. But obviously, the travel industry needs to respond to it. They can't be what they used to be in the past, which is providing for one kind of customers that was only pursuing a quest for ceremonial and status. They need to embrace the changes. They need to embrace the singularity of the customers, and making sure that if all these customers are looking into the future and they expect you to fool them with some ambitious promise, that's what you need to look for. If everything has become design-oriented because they've got a very acute taste for design, the hotel of today needs to be extremely design-oriented. If everything has become lifestyle and theatrical experience, then the hotel themselves need to turn themselves into a brand that will promise an overall experience that they will have to deliver by becoming themselves also a kind of lifestyle brand. Well, LA Miami is a direct response to the shift. This is the marketplace where basically all the brands that are the most rebellious, the most forward-thinking, the most creative will be in one single place, and where they will meet the best connoisseurs around the world who want to purchase that kind of offering for their customers. I think we're trying to be very different from any other shows that you have. Most of the travel shows have, take a lot of the customers and try to meet them with a lot of buyers, but we are very particular in the same kind, in a way that we're actually curating our customers. As a result, you know that when you go to LA Miami, you will see only the most cutting-edge brands and a kind of crowd that is inspiring to be into the futures rather than being in the past, and who is reinventing the future of the travel industry. I think with Ellie Miami, what we're trying to do is address the next paradigm shift and provide a marketplace for it. And that's something that we have been doing for quite a while. We did it with the luxury travel sectors, we do it with the experiential travel sectors, and we believe that we can be the organization that can be with the much needed contemporary travel sectors. And our ambitions is very much to be this force for change, to turn a small idea into a big idea, and a big idea into almost an industry phenomenon. We think that by putting all these individuals and brands together, we can encourage people to think more creatively in the hotel business, to be more provocative, to be more artistic, and to be better connected with their environment, and to ultimately create something which is more interesting and more exciting for the customers. I think in the same way that there are major international art fairs where people are looking forward to get there every year because they will see the latest tenants, the latest trends, the latest artists, the latest thing that will shock, impress them in many ways. Ellie Miami will very much play that role. This will be the place where everybody who is a buyer into travels will be longing for an entire to make sure they go there and they see the new artistry in the hotel business, the new innovations that will dazzle the customer of tomorrow. And that's very much our ambition.